Welcome to the 8-week summer confidence posting. Thank you for being here. We are looking at different themes for each week, and this week the theme will be finding learning gaps. We'll call the first day Mindset Monday, where we start with the mindset of why it's important to find those learning gaps. A child becomes frustrated easily when they cannot accomplish a goal. And it's like a computer where they are gaining information by adding precept upon precept and line upon line and learning how to process information. So when there is a gap, it causes a temporary glitch in the computer system, their computer system. In the computer, what it will do is stop the downloading process. In the same way, the child, when they're missing a concept, they're learning, but eventually that learning slows down. And then when they cannot do it any longer, then that cycle of frustration comes around. And we don't know where that gap is. So our next step would be to how to find those gaps. And we have to look at the clues that they're giving us. So when you look at a child and they're counting with their fingers, or they're using a calculator to compute a simple problem, or maybe they're reading and they're skipping over words, or when you ask them to summarize a story, they give you random quotes, not really connected. So these are the types of things that are easy to identify. Also, with this 8-week session that we're doing, I will be providing 5-minute exercises that you'll be able to see where those gaps lie. They will not be able to go forward because of some gap that's there. Something's missing that they're not able to understand what you're trying to explain in 5 minutes. That gives you a heads up. Now, the next thing is, how do you process through that? Well, the best way I found is not to drill them with all kinds of different exercises, but to actually use a 5-minute exercise that will help them to grasp a concept easily. When they grasp that concept, then they get a quick win and they feel that they have accomplished something and they want to do more. That's the learning process, and that's normally how it goes when there's no slowdown in the process. The good news is that once the error is found, the computer is able to process the downloads correctly. By the same process, a child, say he's in the 4th grade and has a 2nd grade gap. So when you go back to fix that gap, that doesn't mean that the child has to start at 2nd grade and work their way up again. No, everything that has been downloaded between that time is still there. It's just that concept was not fully understood, so they couldn't grasp all of the rest. But once that gap is filled, then they will be able to accelerate quickly. This is the process that's going to help your child as they begin to use these 5-minute exercises, not as a curriculum or a school assignment, but rather as a helping hand to get them where they need to be so that they are able to work through their curriculum and their assignments. So next we will be going Wisdom Wednesday, where I will show you how to use those 5-minute exercises to help fill the gaps. We'll see you then.